Her famous clients include Sandra Bullock, Chrissy Teigen, Anne Hathaway, Naomi Watts, Matt Damon and his wife Luciana, Reese Witherspoon, Lori Loughlin, and they are just to name a few of the A-listers who swear by my next guest, Body by Simone, training technique which combines dance, cardio, yoga, Pilates, and sculpting long, lean muscles. I want to be part of this. I am so excited. Welcome to my show, Simone De La Rue.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, my gosh. So do you want to know how I found you?
Please tell me.
Okay, so Lori Loughlin was just on my show twice, right at the beginning of the year, and then shortly after Fuller House was just picked up for the second season. And we were chatting about our kids and our life, and, you know, we have a lot in common, and we were giggling back and forth, and then I'm following her Instagram, and I'm looking at this one picture of her abs, and I was like, who do you work out with? And it's you, and then I look at you, and I'm like, I need to be you. I need to know everything about you.
That's so sweet. I love Lori. She's my poster girl. She's 51, and she looks incredible. But she's a very, very hard worker as well. So it really is about, you know, the effort that you put in, you see results. But she's beautiful inside and out.
Oh my God! My open of my show says if I was ever asked to play any part on TV, I'd want it to be the part that she played for 7 years. I love her, and I'm the same age, and I feel like I told her I think me and her could be BFs and like friends, and we just really bonded, and we had a lot of laughs, and she was one of the nicest people I've ever spoken to.
Yeah, I agree.
And I want you to know I've had a lot of celebrity trainers on. When I first started my show, Gunnar Peterson launched my show with me. And I've talked to all of them, but you, I have to say, I'm one of the most excited to ask you so many questions and talk to you. Oh. And I can't wait to do your DVD, and thank you so much for sending it to me.
No problem. That's really hard. It's when I look back at it now, I was like, wow, what was I thinking? But it's good. It's very challenging.
Wait, it's hard. So is there going to be another DVD coming that might be easier?
I always think, you know, with DVDs, that's the... you know, you have them sitting at home, and often people just use them as dust collectors or you know, to rest their coffee on or something like that. But, you know, I the way I set it out and was that you could start with 1 or 2 rounds and build your way up so that you're constantly working on your strengths. So it's not just something that you do once and then put away.
Well, I have to tell you.
Yes, there will be many more coming.
Oh, I'm so excited. I've been Googling you, so I've been watching a lot of your online stuff too, which has been motivating me, and I like a lot what you do. So let's start from the beginning. You started dancing when you were 3 years old. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's a cute story. I mean, my mom was not a ballet mother. She didn't push me into it, but I remember like my first memory of like walking past and seeing like these little pink, you know, satin ballet shoes and saying to her that I wanted to do that. I think in some way she was trying to discourage me because she was like, oh no, the life of a dancer is, you know, always very challenging. So, but I started, it was really movement at the age of 3, but I started and just immediately fell in love with it and, you know, had a bit of a natural gift with it. So my ballet teacher kind of encouraged me to continue. And, you know, I did that full time. So I was, you know, trying to do my schoolwork as well as dancing full time. So it was very, you know, challenging. But the beauty about dance, I think, you know, and I always say to all of my clients and my younger teenagers that I work with, is like if you can do some form of activity when you're younger, you know, it keeps the discipline, first of all, but also, you know, you have muscle memory, so your body, it's much easier to stay in shape and stay fit, and, you know, it's much easier to work out and learn to take care of your body if you've done that from a young age. It's a lot more of a challenge if you start, you know, in your 20s, so say. So it was wonderful grounding for me. You know, classical ballet, I think ballerinas are athletes. You know, so to have that discipline and strength from such a young age has really helped throughout my career.
And while many kids grow out of activities, this was not you. And I like what I read that you said, I lived it, breathed it, and was totally immersed into it, where the point that I was dance.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think, you know, I mean, I don't know, there's something in women in general that have some connection with dance. But yeah, as you said, once you get to the I guess the teenage years, sometimes boys or partying becomes more important. But for me, I just, I always knew that that's what I wanted to do. So I continued and then ended up doing musical theatre for many years in Australia and on the West End in London, and then on Broadway. So really, I was a professional dancer for 18 years. It was my life and my career.
Wow.
Which was wonderful.
And you remind me of my son. Well, not in a way. My son lives and breathes basketball. And I read that you wrote every day after school when other kids would have a play dates or parties, I was at the ballet. Well, my son the same way. Everyone's out doing whatever, and he just wants to put the basketball in the hoop. He just wants to shoot. So I love that passion is something beautiful. And another thing that got me about you is that you said, I don't believe in diets. I want you to expand on that for us, because I thought that was very important for people to hear.
Yeah, I think, as I said, growing up in the ballet world, I was witness to so many eating disorders. The pressure put on young women, especially today with all these magazines and everything that's photoshopped now, even like selfies, everything's photoshopped, and you've got these wonder cams so you can make yourself look like flawless. And
right.
It's so much pressure on young women, and being in the ballet world where you were expected to be thick thin. There was a lot of people trying to do these crazy fad diets, or not even doing diets, they just weren't eating. Right. And, I watched over the years that then they became injured, then they became ill, and their careers, were quite limited and cut short because of that they weren't actually fueling their bodies, to keep the strength. So I also had wonderful guidance from my mum. She always made sure that I ate well and never really let me go down that path. So, that was something that's been, in my world for a long time. And now working with women, that's one of my major messages. I want you to work to your own ideal weight, to your own ideal body image. You can't possibly look like, some of the people that you see in the magazines or that you see on film, because one, that's not realistic a lot of the time. And, two, you have to just to learn to love yourself and love your body. So for me, it is 80% diet, 20% exercise. But when I say the word diet, I don't mean going on a binge diet. You don't mean
starving yourself or extreme diets,
or
like
juice cleanse or anything like that.
Right.
It's basically,
that also got me about you. If you just, I'm talking to Simone de la Rue. She is the founder of Body by Simone. Her DVD is the signature class, the full body and dance cardio. You also have a book, Body by Simone, the 8-week total body makeover plan. And I love this about this because you get so much information in your book with also ideas for eating too.
Yeah, I basically eat like paleo. I find that works well with my body. I'm able to process the foods, and that's what I try to encourage people and my clients to do. Obviously, it's all a personal taste, but by eliminating, gluten, by eliminating dairy, eliminating alcohol and sugar and caffeine and sodium, even just for like 2 weeks, we do a cleanse. So you're constantly eating, but the idea is that you're detoxifying the system and cleaning out your gut. Often we're allergic to foods that we don't even realize, and this is a wonderful way of doing that. So, I really try and encourage people to think about cleansing out their system. And in the process, you end up dropping a little bit of weight. But it really is about a healthy lifestyle, living a healthy life.
So tell us what we can expect when we go to your studio. Now, you have 3 locations.
Yeah, I'm just about to open the third one next weekend, actually, in Brentwood.
I read that. I was so excited.
No one really to know yet.
But it was on the website. Okay, don't know yet, but okay. And I'm very familiar with that. I covered the O.J. Simpson trial, so is it near? It's near right there, right?
It's
around there.
Well, yes, yeah.
Around that neighborhood. Okay, so wow. So tell us what we can expect when we go to your classes.
It's just a fun, joyous experience. I always tell, everyone to leave their ego at the door. There's no judgment. All of my trainers are professional dancers, but they're also, train under me. And so we work at really just trying to empower women, especially, and just make it a safe environment where you feel like you can, get a wonderful workout, but at the same time have a good time. We don't want to, I don't want to try and take myself seriously, and I don't want any of the clients to. It's like making, a fun experience.
And so you train a lot of celebrities, which I've mentioned and we've known and we've seen. What's the best part? I mean, I know they're just like us, but what's the best part of training them? And I've said this before to other trainers that train celebrities, because they have, their bodies are their work too. So they're getting in shape, or they're getting to look like something because they're about to play a part too. And this is their livelihood. What is it like to train them?
I actually really enjoy, because often most of the times we're working towards a goal. So the goal may be, it's either the actual filming. There's a scene in a film where they need to have, a bikini on or hot pants on or their arms exposed. Or the goal is that then we're working towards the red carpet appearance or, the award season. So it's nice to actually have a goal, and I always encourage all of my clients to have a goal, whether that's your wedding or your high school reunion or whatever that may be, because then you obviously want to work harder. So I enjoy that part of it, because they're obviously very driven to achieve that goal, and we have, 8 or 12 weeks to get there. So that's really wonderful. But as you said, they are getting paid to do this. The film companies, they're paying me to make sure that I get them in shape. They're getting paid to have a chef to make them eat the right food. So they're getting paid to look a certain way. So it's their responsibility to do that. But I do like working towards the goal with them, because it's fun to see the end result, because it's on film, or it's on magazine or online.
She's the founder of Body by Simone, Simone de la Rue. Her DVD is The Signature Classes, Full Body and Dance Cardio. Her book is Body by Simone, the 8-week total makeover plan. All right, so for those of us out there who, and I just turned 51, and I know that for women especially, it's not as easy after you've had kids and you're on the go, and I'm really trying to get myself into shape. What's your best advice for us? I mean, what is your routine like? How many days do you work out?
You can't really compare me, because I do 6 days a week, hours on end, because I work alongside my clients to, keep them motivated. So I probably work out too much, I would say. But, I think what's really important for the working mom or the, woman with a career is that, balance. You have to make sure that you keep a slice of the pie for you. That there's
I like
time
that.
You have to, that's just yours. Even if it's only 20 minutes, you can get an amazing workout in 20 minutes now. So it's just, don't make an excuse and say, oh, well, I don't have an hour today. I won't bother. I'll do it tomorrow. Just even doing 20 minutes a day is great. And if you have time to do an hour or 55 minutes, that's especially for you, then that's, wonderful as well. And it's important to have a rest day. And, it's obviously important to combine that with what you're eating as well. There's no point, I've had some clients that say, oh, I didn't eat anything all day today, but then they went and had 2 glasses of wine, and
Right.
A lot of moms do that too. They're like, I need wine just after the kids go to bed, just because to get through the day, it's been a long day. But, it's also, you have to think about the calories that you're drinking when you do that. So.
And are you a big believer,
balance.
It's not the weight on the scale, it's really how you fit in your clothes and how you see yourself too?
Absolutely. I don't own a scale. I haven't stood on one for probably 20 years. I
love that about you. I don't like the scale, because I know when my pants fit me well. I know when I'm looking better than I usually, I know there's weeks when I'm better than I'm not.
Yeah, it's muscle mass weighs more than fat, so the more you're working out, the more muscle you're going to develop. So obviously it's going to go up in the scales. If it's that time of the month, if you've had to drink too much water, if you stand on the scales in the morning, if you stand in the evening, your weight fluctuates, and I think it can actually send women crazy. So I always say go to how you feel. See how your clothes feel, but more importantly, it's your energy levels. Do you sleep well? Are you firing and ready to, attack life? And do you feel stronger physically? Are you able to run after your kids? That kind of stuff is more important than, 1 or 2 pounds on the scale.
I agree. And are you a big believer breakfast is the most important meal?
Yeah, I think whether it's the most important meal, but you definitely have to have breakfast. So it's just like, I say, graze like a cow, constantly put fuel into the body, 6 little meals a day. But there's, if you haven't eaten since 9 o'clock at night when you went to bed, and then you don't eat until lunchtime, you're actually starving your body and starving your system for, over 12 hours. So it's like a car. If you don't put gas in it, it won't run.
That's right. Tell us about the 8-week total body makeover plan. What is that about?
Excuse me. Yeah, it's I did 8 weeks because it's setting realistic goals. I hate when I open a magazine and it says lose 5 pounds in